Hey guys, it's Hybrid,
And this is the White Sheep.
and yes, so we're back.
Yes, welcome back. We apologize for the delay, as I've said in previous videos, and we're going to be rolling out a lot of new content soon. We're getting all the old shows again, just in an effort to make up for it, but also just to get back on track in general.
Yeah, and we have a time limit now. We're trying to keep this approximately 10 minutes.
Yes. Well, this is an experiment. We want to see if we can get everything that we want said in 10 minutes. And
Yeah, and we'll see how you guys like it, because so far these have been almost
these can
30
get
minutes.
too long, really.
Yeah, but luckily we have a somewhat simple in the sense where, like, the argument will be much more easier than, like, a character like Darkness and Spawn, which are relatively unknown, so we really have to explain those characters. But this one is Blue Marvel, who Marvel Comics, and Majestic, which is a New 52 version of Mr. Majestic in New 52. Now, if you like this character, please update their wikias and all their online information, because it got so bad, I literally had to buy every Team 7 comic and 3 Deathstroke comics
It's kind of crazy.
just to get information on this character.
Josh called this simple. It's simple, but it's complex in the way that it's a simple matchup because there's not a lot of info to draw from, but it's complex because there's not a lot of info to draw from. So it's sort of left to us to extrapolate what exactly would happen. So without further ado, Josh, take it away.
Alright, so I'm Majestic. Now, the big reason I was kind of not deterred, the reason why it was really pain in the ass to research this character was because this Majestic is quite different from the pre-New 52 Majestic, Mr. Majestic, being as he's not alien royalty. I can't even pronounce the name on top of my head. The alien race starts with a K though.
Carabine, something like that.
Yeah, it's not. He's not royalty from that alien race anymore. He's a metahuman, but he's still extremely powerful. Now, his real name is James Bronson. He was a member of Team 7 before he became Majestic. Now, basically, just sum it up, different members of Team 7 were chosen specifically because they have a metagene, like Deathstroke, Black Canary, etc. So he happened to be one of them. Now, I guess Team 7 purposely wasn't activating his metagene because of how powerful it was projected to be, but it ended up getting activated anyways, and as you can see, Majestic is really powerful. Now, it got to a point where they were using him as essentially their nuclear deterrent, so to speak, to put it in terms, he's their big, powerful guy. It got to a point where when world leaders saw a red and white thing in the sky flying, they would automatically give up any, hostile thought they would have because they were like, oh, it's Majestic, we're done. But anyways, yeah, his abilities are superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, intelligence, healing, flight, and senses. He has no equipment. Now, pre-New 52, Mr. Majestic had also heat vision, among other things. He was essentially like Superman, but more powerful. That was like his big thing. New 52 Majestic, I read every single issue he has been in so far since he was introduced, has shown no sign of heat vision at all, so that's why he has no energy projection abilities. Maybe in the future they'll include that, but as of now, he hasn't exhibited that. He's exhibited telescopic vision from the edge of space, but not heat vision. So strength is unknown. He's ridiculously strong. As you can see in that picture right there, he's just throwing a tank as, whatever. But he is considered the most powerful being on the planet. More powerful than Superman, according to Pandora's Box, because Pandora's Box actually drew Majestic to it, even though Superman could have been drawn forward, but instead it drew Majestic, because Majestic was the only one with quote-unquote truly unlimited power, which, like I said, goes into his strength. His strength, it's unknown, you can't calculate, there's no limit to it, seemingly. So he can do ridiculous amount of things. Now, speed, also unknown. Now, in one of the Team 7 comics, he did something which I believe is quite ridiculous. He, in mere seconds, flew from Earth to the edge of space, then back at 99% of light speed, just to create a tsunami, and he hit the Earth with such force that, the shockwave was reportedly felt, not only heard, but it was felt across the world. So, yeah, he can go ridiculously fast. Intelligence is gifted. We don't know how far, that's why it's just put as gifted, but we know it was enhanced by, him becoming Majestic. Now his fighting is also experienced because before he was Majestic, he was a Team 7 member, and all of them have combat training because it's a special tactical division of metahumans essentially. Now durability, he is invincible. Essentially nothing can harm him. The only thing that has been shown to harm him is Rose Wilson, but that's because her powers are nullifying the metagene. So essentially anyone around her, including other non-human beings like Superman and Superboy, if you're around her, you're basically as weak as a normal human. But yeah, nothing can hurt him. Like I said, when he went from the edge of space, 99% light speed, crashing back into Earth, he rose, no scratch, no dents, nothing.
Shouldn't that have destroyed the Earth?
That should have, but I think he pinpointed exactly. From space, he uses telescopic vision to pinpoint exactly where he was going to hit. Energy projection, like I said, he hasn't exhibited any at this moment, and he's had tons of time to. So I doubt they're going to do it just for the sake of not making him seem too much like Superman. New 52.
Too hella OP. All right, so let me just dive right in here with Blue Marvel. His real name is Adam Brashear, and he is really one of the more interesting characters in the Marvel Universe right now, to me, because he's actually not an old character at all. We think of these established characters like Captain America, Iron Man, and they've been around since the 40s, 50s, 60s. Blue Marvel was invented in 2008, which is coincidentally the year that Obama got elected, which might explain why he looks so much like Obama. He's basically like the Obama Superman, and DC has their own version of that. But his abilities, just a quick rundown: he's got superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability. He's got gifted intelligence. He has a healing factor. He can fly. He's got enhanced senses, lots of energy projection manipulation powers, and he really uses no equipment other than his suit. So let's just go ahead. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to stop and explain the history of the character to you a little bit. So 2008, they retconned him into the universe, actually, and they said he had been around for a while. He was a Marine in World War II. He was good buddies with Namor. He got his powers, and actually after he was a Marine, he got his powers in an accident. It was involving antimatter, and it gave him and his nemesis Anti-Man their powers. And they sort of made him, like I said, best buddies with Namor. He had some dealings with the Avengers. And eventually, this whole time, because he was African American and racism was a thing, he actually went underground. At the time when he started to exhibit his powers, he was a superhero for a little bit.
He had a helmet, right?
Yeah, he had a helmet that covered up his face, and when it got knocked off, apparently parts of the country were outraged, and so he had to step back into hiding. And eventually, just because, mainly just for the racist bigotry, he stepped away, and he only came back when he had to fight Anti-Man years later. So just jumping into an overview of his powers. Strength 7. His max is unknown. At one point when he was fighting the Avengers, because he was a little headstrong and he tried to rush in and the Avengers tried to stop him, he ended up actually punching Sentry into space and just basically took hits from all of the Avengers, pretty much knocked them all out.
Did he knock Sentry out for a few minutes?
Yeah, Sentry actually, after their fight, Blue Marvel was sort of, and he was not incapacitated, he was just fatigued. And it was the same thing for Sentry. Like, Sentry was kind of like, okay, like, I'm tired as fuck. But, alright, his speed, the max, is also unknown. It's sort of a similar situation to his strength there. His intelligence, he's a super genius. He actually holds PhDs in theoretical physics and electrical engineering, or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, that contributes to the antimatter experiment that gave him his, powers. And this also contributes to why I think Blue Marvel will win. We'll talk about that in a little bit. His stats, fighting, he's experienced. He's only experienced because he's been a superhero for so long. And he was also a Marine, so he was trained a little bit. Durability, he is invincible, and also with a healing factor. Like I said, Sentry has the power of 1 million exploding suns, and yet Blue Marvel was able to keep up with him toe-to-toe and actually have no real lasting effects from that. So he's definitely up there in the the S class, the S tier of powerful Marvel beings. Energy, he's got a single type of energy projection, which is 5 bars, but this is actually, the antimatter stuff. And even though it says it's only a single type, he can do so much with it. Like shields, blasts, concussive waves, all this stuff. That really also gives him an edge up over Majestic.
Yeah. So I think it should be noted, though, I'm a big Blue Marvel fan from reading him, and he's had a reemergence with the Mighty Avengers series, but he's like 50-ish years old. He'd have to be around at least 50 years old.
Yes.
So I think props to him for doing as much as.
Well, maybe he
he's
wasn't
doing.
a Marine in World War II. He was probably a Marine in Vietnam or something.
Well, they probably retconned it.
They said it was just a Marine. Yeah, but oh well.
But that's pretty good.
Overman.
He's obviously not in his prime, and he's still keeping up with all these other people in their prime. So, I guess I'll quickly do my thing. Why I think Majestic would win before you rebut my. It's not even a rebuttal yet.
No.
Before you rebuttal.
The only time we said
rebut.
that was when you rebutted my rebuttal, and I had to rebut your rebuttal. Of my rebuttal.
Let's do this. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So Majestic, reason I think he would win. If you ask anybody about Mr. Majestic, which is Premium 52 version, who's the most, like, if you ask them Mr. Majestic versus Superman, Mr. Majestic versus Gladiator, Mr. Majestic versus Sentry, Blue Marvel, Hyperion, whatever, they're going to say Mr. Majestic. He was made to literally be the most powerful thing ever.
OP.
Similarly, I just mispronounced that, also like that, the New 52 version, which is just titled Majestic, not Mr. Majestic, is simply just OP. Like, that's just the character. To put it in perspective, his main nemesis is Hellspawn, or Hellspawn. There we go. Hellspawn in New 52 backhanded Superman easily. He has defeated Superman with literally one hand, no problem, and has not been turned around since. That is Majestic's nemesis. So to put it in perspective, he is much more. I know everyone's going to be like Superman because he's a Superman copy, but that's not the case. He's just literally just made to be more powerful. You just need to accept that. He is the most powerful thing, to the point where Pandora's box drew him out of every other being possible, drew Majestic to it, because he was the only one with the actual power to open it.
True. May I say, there are three reasons Blue Marvel wins. 1, energy. 2, just sheer experience. And, 3, the fact that we don't know the upper limit of Blue Marvel's powers. And we don't know the upper limit of Majestic's powers either. But simply because you can't put a cap on it, I'd say that adds to the added experience that he has in fighting and dealing with superpowered individuals. And just also the energy projection would cause, I think it would throw Majestic for a loop. I mean, he's fought people with energy projection before, but antimatter is a tricky thing. So they definitely hurt someone that's made of matter.
I think it's interesting how similar their costumes are.
Yes, it's like just the blue and red versions of the same design.
Yeah,
just the M mark in the front, and then
I don't know why they took away his cape. Like, maybe it's because to make him seem less like Superman.
probably.
But in the pre-New 52, when he was Mr. Majestic, he had a cape. Now he has no cape. Like, literally, his suit is essentially the same minus a cape.
True.
So,
all right, guys, that's where we end off. Just tell us what you think about this matchup. Ultimately, you guys are going to decide. And also tell us what you think about the new format. Clearly, we can't add in what we usually add in terms of the great debate and bringing in all the facts and stuff like that. But I feel like we got a good amount of the info in here in this video.
yeah, so comment below. Do you like this? Do you prefer the longer versions? What have you? And I think that's it. We'll see you guys later.
All right, yes, signing off. This is the White Sheep.
This is Hybrid, and I have Nutella.
I don't even have to say anything else.